caught me off guard. So, okay, guys, welcome to the call. So I said a bunch of stuff that some people didn't get to hear, but I'm going to let Lori take over this call. I'm going to stop sharing because no, I actually am going to share because I want to share a little bit about her. I've known Lori for actually a long time. We've actually been friends in this business for a while, and she's originally from Jacksonville, but now she lives in Highlands Ranch, Colorado, right? And she said it's just at the west of Denver, or did you unmute?
Southwest.
Oh, southwest. Okay.
If y'all know where Red Rocks is, I'm close to Red Rocks.
Okay. Julia knows where Red Rock is. Julia lives in Larkspur, right? Did I say that right, Julia? Larkspur. Okay. That's my best friend, Lori. Julia has been in Life Vantage a little over a year now, and she's been watching us for about 8 years, and she lives out in Larkspur. So Lori is a mom of 2 amazing daughters. I saw some really cool pictures of her and her daughters together. They're all photogenic. I'll just say that. They're very photogenic, right? And she made fun of me today because I almost butchered her last name. And I can't spell, you guys. A guy with a super high IQ that screws up things, right? Like, so go figure, right? Mike and I, we talk about how imperfect we are all the time, about how we say things, and she's a serial entrepreneur. But this is one thing that Lori and I have in contact. We both love God with a passion. And she is a solid Christian woman who loves God and makes it known that she loves God. And so I'm going to just let my friend Lori.
Do it.
I'm going to do it. Charette. Take the call, and I'm going to let her share some things that she took away from this, and then I'm just going to let her inspire you guys a little bit, because the best thing about this company and about the people, about Life Vantage, is the people, and getting to know people and getting to be inspired by them as Life Vantage distributors, but as people too. So Lori, thank you so much. I'm excited to hear you talk.
Yay. You guys, I had like 27 minutes notice.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, I take responsibility for that. I was actually going to ask you yesterday, and I don't know. This was my sheet of paper of stuff I had to do yesterday, so I apologize. Yeah.
No worries. Hey, I'm going to make a request. Anybody that is not on camera, please come on camera, please.
There you go.
This is my first time on your team, and I absolutely love being able to see and really connect with you.
I love it.
So if you could come on camera, that would be
phenomenal. Like it better when people are on camera, but some people don't. So we
absolutely, yeah.
But there's
challenged us one time to do that too.
There's a lady on the bottom that can't on the phone.
We know.
I got that. But if you can, come on. I sure would appreciate it.
There you go.
So much nicer to connect with you when I can see you, right?
I agree.
And when you're doing these yourself, hey, Tracy, do you remember us connecting years ago? Okay. I was like, I remember her. Yeah. So when you guys are leading the pack, right, you're going to want to have people come on live as well, right? So all the things that we're doing, those are the things that you're going to want when it's your turn and your time and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yes.
So thank you so much. I absolutely adore Michael and Lisa. We were actually cutting up a little bit ahead of time. And you know, life is all about relationships, right? I mean, that's just life in general. In my opinion, that's what we're here on earth for, is relationships. And so if we can do that in life, right, then we can do that with Life Vantage. And that's what makes everything a game changer, right?
Yes.
And so I so much appreciate, because we literally cannot get enough, and we're getting just bits and pieces at these events, and now these events are not here. Like, we are massively having withdrawals, right? I don't know about you guys, but boy, am I. I keep my fingers crossed, really thinking that, gosh, that's October, that's that far away. Are they not going to be able to pull this off? Come on. But we know that it's going to be a struggle. Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to start off by saying, I give me permission, please, you guys, when I start talking, when I go at it, if you guys have heard me in the past, once I get going, I get really elevated. I get elevated because I get excited. And so I'm not yelling and I'm not whatever, but I, you know, halfway in, exactly, I'm standing on the outside looking in going, Lori, pull it back, pull it back. So I just like to tell you that ahead of time, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
So real briefly, I'm going to try to share the quick version of my story because I really do want to tie it into where we are today. It's extremely impactful. And I really, really think that you're going to have something solid that's going to be a game changer for your mindset as you walk away this evening, like literally this evening. Okay. I am from Jacksonville, Florida. And you all know, everybody knows what happened 10 years ago. There's so many people from stage that tells that story of what happened 10 years ago, right? The economy crash. And for me in Jacksonville, we got hit really, really, really hard. And in slow motion for 2 years, I ended up losing everything. I lost my business, my home, my car, my insurance, my retirement, my life, my life, my life. And when I talk about it, you can hear me get shaken up about it because I feel it when I say it, right? And I don't spend every day talking about that. And we couldn't get work. There was this massive desperation. And the word for me was hopelessness. And I want you to remember that, hopelessness. Why? Because we couldn't get work. We could not get work. Nobody was hiring. Everybody was letting go, right? Everybody was letting go of people. They were trying to keep their doors open. And I kind of say this because this is kind of interesting, you guys. The economy was up here. And then it crashed. And then it came back. Now, wait a second. I want you to see that again. It was here, and it crashed, and it came back. Not here. This right here is why the gig economy started, because this wasn't enough for us.
Good.
When they were losing everything and everybody was trying to hang on, how many people, most people lost their jobs, and if not, their hours were cut and their pay was cut, and they were doing the job of like 5 people, right? And so the businesses had to learn how to operate in order to hang on and survive. They had to figure out how to operate that way with no staff, right? But they did figure it out, you guys. So once they figured it out, they weren't going to go back. That's why it went from here to here and went here. They figured it out. So now this cut in pay, cut in hours, cut in everything, one person doing the job of how many? Gig economy wasn't enough for us. And so I ended up having to leave and go to, of all places, you guys, a Florida girl in South Dakota. What? A Florida girl does not belong in South Dakota. I didn't even know they were on the map. And I knew nobody, knew nothing, but it was work that took me there. What I did there for the first 3 years is a whole nother story. But after 3 years, I was able to, one of my daughters came up, and both of my girls are in the beauty industry. So that's what Michael was referring to. One's a model, New York model, and the other one is in the beauty industry. So they are absolutely gorgeous, yes. And one of them came up and we opened up a salon. And so this is my start over ticket, right? I've literally lost my life, my start over ticket. So we're in the mall. We have a retro salon, really cute, 1.5 years new. And all of a sudden we were getting rumors that Dick's Sporting Goods was coming in and they were going to take over the wing that we were in. 6 businesses were booted out and we were one of them. And I was only 1.5 years new. I didn't even get a chance. I've already lost everything. So you guys imagine what I was feeling. 50 years old, no retirement. We don't have time to get it back. How long did it take how long did it take me to get it? How long did it take me to lose it, right? And so I was desperate in my fears of what my future looked like, literally. So when you say on your knees praying, I cannot even begin to tell you how I was on my knees, scared to death of what my future looked like, that I was going to be scraping. And how did I get here at this age, right? How did I get here? And how many people felt that way, right? And there was a stranger, a couple that came into the salon. And of all people, I didn't know them, they didn't know me. I don't know if y'all know Dr. Gordon and Pam Gordon. My angels on earth. They came in and they shared this with me, you guys. And it was a game changer. Why did it get me my attention? It's important for you to hear this. One reason is because they shared an ABC investigative report. I don't know about you, but my team, if you use the V word, stop doing it. Do not ever call it a video. Because if you don't want people to look at us like everybody else in network marketing, then quit calling it a video.
Amen.
The minute you say video, they're like, oh, it's another one of those things. Because that's what everybody else sounds like, right?
Yeah.
We have an ABC investigative report that we need to elevate and validate and give it the attention it deserves. The minute you say an ABC investigative report, they perk up. They're like, what? Right? They perk up. So stop calling it the video. I literally cringe when I hear that. And so we have to, our verbiage, the way that we tweak our verbiage actually changes their reception of what our message is before it will eliminate objections before they ever happen. Little tiny little tweaks, you guys, and that's one of them, right? If we don't want them to think of us, you have to assume that everybody's going to think of us like everything else because they don't know that there's something out there different. So assume, expect it. If you expect it, then you're going to be ready for it, right? So if they hear us talk, if we talk like and sound like and smell like and blah, blah, then of course they're going to think that we're like that. So that calls for us to talk a little bit different, right? So what do I say? You know what, y'all? I have been partnered up with LifeVantage for 7 years. Not when did I join LifeVantage. Does that sound like everybody else? But you know what? What I found is when we say tweak these little words that collectively, when you put them together, make a difference, I'm thinking it's going to make a difference, which it is for the person who's hearing it. But think of the people who are saying it. Does that give you more posture? Do you sound more professional? Do you feel more professional? Right?
Yes.
Okay. So I got off track there. I do.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. It's so good that you say that. It's so good because I'm taking notes
good
and
stuff. I know you hate. It's like I don't want to.
I'm so glad you did that because I feel too that when I say ABC News investigative report that people ears perk up and I always
absolutely
say that
you can say ABC report, you can say investigative report, you can condense it, but just do not call it a video, right?
Exactly.
And oh my gosh, did you guys hear the latest news? Aaron Brockovich partnered up with our board of directors.
Yes.
See my verbiage? Okay. So start being conscious of that because I promise you, you will be eliminating objections. People all the time, well, what do you do when? I'm like, it just doesn't happen for me. I overcome them before they ever can happen. Okay. So I'm in South Dakota. They share this with an ABC investigative report. I can't tell you how many times people handed me a video through my life and said, when you get in your car, pop this in your car. When you get home, pop this in your computer. I never broke the seal on one of them. Why? Because I knew it was going to be fantastic. I knew I was going to be excited, but I also knew that I wouldn't be able to read between the lines. So I didn't open one of them. That's why an ABC report got my attention. That's important for you to hear, right? As you go on and share this, okay? The other thing that got my attention was, oh my gosh, a 1-to-1 and a 1,000,000-to-1 when it comes to cellular protection. Why for me back then? You guys listen to back then and listen to where we are today. Because for the first time in my life, I didn't have insurance. So preventative maintenance was high on my priority list because I could not afford to get sick. Think about where we are today. Yeah. What are people concerned about?
Their immune system.
Flipping health. And they're more concerned about their family's health at this time too, right? Now it's all collective, right? And so, and we don't even have to say anything. Everybody's connecting the dots right now, right? We don't even have to say anything because of what's going on right now. You don't even have to say anything, right? So they shared this with me. I knew that I needed to be on the product immediately. I have had multiple businesses. And for me, when I started this business, you guys, I jumped in, I partnered up with the company. I never have done network marketing. I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know what I was doing. But for me, I was just starting another business. Yeah. That's it. I've done multiple businesses. So I had my business hat on. Never, ever, ever have I thought that I'm in a network marketing company. I just haven't ever thought that because I have a business mindset.
It's good.
So I understand, let me put it this way. I don't understand when people say things like, well, what do you do when you feel like quitting? And when people say things like that, it doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand it. I purchased a multi-million-dollar business. I never once would have said to any of my businesses when I had a bad day that I'm going to go to the landlord and say, I'm not paying the bill anymore. I mean, I just don't understand it. Do I recognize it's real? I recognize it's real. So for me, when I'm coaching, I coach on what it sounds like and what it feels like so people can really connect with it. Not just I'm hearing it all the time, but I'm not connecting with it, right? So I want people to hear what it sounds like and what it looks like. So I partnered up with the company. I put my heels in the ground, and I was so unbelievably excited about what we had. And that was 7 years ago. I think we had 14 peer-reviewed studies. We had the one product that came out with Pet Tandem, and then step 4 of the skincare. And that's what we had, right? We didn't have everything that we have today, you guys, as far as tools go. And so one thing that I want to say about the building depth is that, you guys, there's so much out there and so many people are getting overwhelmed. But what I want you to do is take a deep breath and say, wow, there's so many tools at my fingertips. I am not wanting or needing for anything. Anything that I need is out there. So you pick and you select those things that resonate with you and that you connect with, and you utilize those tools, and don't allow yourself to get bogged down and overwhelmed, okay? And also keep in mind that people on your team, some people resonate with things a little bit differently. So those are tools that it's nice as a leaders, we kind of know what all is out there. Like Michael said, we know what all is out there. And so we know what we can refer to for different tools for different people. So you're going to want to do that too, but you use those in your favor, not to be a chain and pull you down, right?
Yes.
And so the reason why I wanted to share that about my stories, you guys, they talked a lot on building depth. The neat thing about attending, you've got to be present. You have to be engaged, especially now more than ever, because it is that fuel in the fire, because it's so easy. Just a couple days of not doing something. I've never taken a couple days and not done LifeVantage, so I don't know what that's like. But if you were to take a couple days, right, or a week and not do LifeVantage, literally just a week, how hard is it for you to come back after a week? How much heaviness and guilt are you just hanging and hovering and like a dust thing over you, right? When you're not. I really want, so you've got to be engaged. You got to be in there. You got to get the information. You got to get the fuel. You got to get the gas. It does keep you going. It does like I'm thinking after this call, you guys are going to have so much energy about wanting to go out and talk to people, right? So you've got to do that. Make yourself do it. You have to assume that you went and read a application application in the paper for a job opportunity.
Job opportunity, yeah.
Yes. So, you know, what if it said, job opportunity available, be your own boss, work on your own calendar, your own time clock. The potential is great potential within 2 years, right? You could be making a 7-year income in 2 years. The number one requirement is you have to make 20 phone calls in a day, each day, 20 phone calls each day. And we can guarantee that you will get this, and you can work from home and you can be your own boss. Who would apply for that job? Who would apply for that job, right? Today, if you saw that, you would go and apply for that job. So what are we doing? We saw something. We were passionate about something. We believed in something, right? We have to, the commitment that we made is to ourselves. It's not to the people that are on here. It's not to your leaders. The commitment is to yourself, your family, and the people that are in your circle of influence that are going to miss out if you don't stand to your commitment, right? So you really want to make sure that you rethink, why did you do this? So I'm going to hit the word belief, because belief kept coming up. You guys, we hear this all the time. Jill, capital B, got to have belief with a capital B. But let me connect you to that belief. So regardless of whether you are, confident, right? I had somebody tell me today, yeah, but I'm not like you, Lori, I'm not outgoing, right? We know that that has nothing to do with this business, right? But that's what sometimes people will say. So let's say I don't have confidence. I don't want to feel like I'm pushing people. I want, I'm afraid of the nose. I'm da, 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 da. I want you guys today to strip that away from you. Let it go. It is behind you because we are in a new space today. None of that matters anymore. I'm going to go so far to say it isn't even about building your business. This is about humanity at this point. We are at the 3 to 4 month marker of where we are in this space today. And we all know, no matter if there's a crisis going on or just somebody has lost their job, 3 months is that critical time. People can hang on or recover after 1 month, 2 months, but that 3 month marker we all know is difficult, right? That's where massive new conversations are happening, new decisions are happening, right? That's where we are, you guys. When our team, I know your guys' team is too, we do a live every night. Why? Because of what's going on right now, so many people are trying to get this information. I'm going to say some key things here that's going to make it really simple for you to go out and do this, okay? When it was my turn to do the presentation, I reflected on 10 years ago, you guys, and I reflected on it so deeply because number one, I'm massively filled with gratitude of where I am today. If it wasn't for LifeVantage, it changed my stars. It changed my life. I am not seeing today what happened to me 10 years ago. Do I know the reality? So in one breath, I was filled with gratitude, but immediately I was overwhelmed with, I cannot be in this glass box and not recognize what's getting ready to happen for people, where they're getting ready to be mentally, hopelessness, okay? And I literally was bawling. I was just knowing what was getting ready. And this was 3 months ago, knowing what was getting ready to happen. And I had to call Pam and just get this off, you know, because it's like, I don't want to get on there and scare everybody, right? And so, but what that did is it really opened up some doors for me on how to share and help everybody. So when you're moving forward, you guys, understand, you have got to understand where people are today. And who is there today? Who's there? Who's in that space today, you guys? The world. Everybody is. So everybody knows people who are being challenged right now, right? Everybody knows people. So from now on, when we're talking to someone, we're not talking to this person. We're going to be talking to everybody they know. We're going to get them to connect to everybody they know. Hey, listen, based on what is going on right now, everybody is trying to get this information. Actually, I have, listen to this. Listen to this, listen to this, listen to this. I'll send this to you, Michael, if you would like it to share with your team.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, Karen, how are you guys doing over there? Things are pretty crazy, right? I wanted to reach out to you. In light of everything that's going on, there are so many people reaching out to get more information on how to protect their health, etc. So tonight there's going to be somebody going live to talk about how to activate our bodies. Being able to protect ourselves is a priority for everyone right now. Be sure to jump on the webinar with me tonight, and please invite your family and friends to jump on with you so they can get this information too, or so they can hear the details, okay?
Love
and
that.
then in parentheses, I put, they're also going to talk about how we can generate. Now listen to this, you guys, listen to this word. They're gonna, this is so huge. They're gonna talk about how we can generate cash flow from home, okay? By sharing this information with the people we know and care about. Please don't forget to share this with your family and friends. We're trying to help as many people as we can. So the importance there is, because of what's going on right now, every person that you talk to right now, you need to say, because of what's going on right now, because everybody can immediately connect with that. And at the end, you can say, you have to say, we're just trying to help as many people as we can. Once you do that, it's wide open. You can be as aggressive. That gives you a green light to be as aggressive as you need to be, right? Because you are on a mission to help as many people as possible, and you should be, because we can offer hope. The two things that people are at home right now, they're worried about their health and their family's health, and they're not thinking about how to find to start a business, or they're thinking about how to find another job. What they're trying to figure out is how to generate cash flow from home. If you can connect with that, then you can connect with them. You can speak to them in a way where you immediately get their attention, right? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Massive. So you want to say, because of what's going on right now, and you want to absolutely end it. And then again, you're talking to everybody they know, right? And so that way, if they're saying, I'm sorry, that's awesome, but I can tell you that I'm not interested. Okay. What do you get to do? You get to say, no worries. Thank you so much for sharing that with me. But listen, because of everything, and you just repeat it, because of everything that's going on right now, so many people are concerned and facing these challenges. So I really want to be able to help you help the people that you know and care about by getting them this information. You see what I'm saying? We're not doing anything that we ever did in the past. We're still asking for the referral, but listen how we're doing it. How can they tell you when you say, I'm just trying to help as many people as possible? How can they tell you no? So you have to get out of your heads. When we were talking about self-confidence, we were talking about, I'm afraid of the nose, I'm worried about this, I'm worried about that. It's gone. You have to get out of your head and into the hearts and homes and families and understand what they're feeling.
So good.
How can you not share this, you guys? How can you withhold what you know? You know what you know, what you know, what you know. I don't care how insecure somebody is. Are you confident in the products? Are you confident in the science? Are you confident in the company? Are you confident? You got everything you know to have a solid foundation and be massively excited. You can share it. You can share it with a doctor, the president. I don't care who. You can share it to top anybody and not be shaken, because you know what you know, and they just don't know what you know yet. But how excited should you be going, this is so big, and I know that they're going to be blown away by it. So nobody can shake me. I'm not intimidated by anybody. Doesn't mean I might not be nervous, but I'm not intimidated by anybody.
I love that.
That's the belief. I don't know. I can go on.
No, that's good. No, that's good. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna put this on gallery view so everybody can see. I wrote down a bunch of stuff. I wrote down like 2 pages of notes. So I'm always a note taker. Guys, if you're not taking notes, seriously, like, Mike, does that fire you up to hear those type of things? I mean, come on, man, like real, let's get real. How many of you can do and say what Lori just did? I mean, for real, like, let's just say it.
Guys, this is what I was talking to you the other day, Mike, is that I put this is an invite that I put together. It's 2 pages front and back, and it literally has that invite and 2 others, but what it has is the follow-up, exactly how to follow up.
And then I gave you a good tool for follow-up too. That makes it irrefutable. Once you put your names into that ITT tracker,
yep,
put them into that second.
And we have one. I just wanted to see yours.
No, and here's the good thing about it. If you have a legend and you have I learned this from Sarah Harding, who is freaking crushing it right now, about to be Pro 8 in 20 months, which is mind-blowing. And she's teaching her team to do it faster. And she told me this. She says, Michael, it's all about duplication of teaching people how to start fast, right? If you teach, and it's why when we launched the launch guide, we'd already been using it for 2 months, because Sarah was an intricate part of getting that going. You guys, and you're going to see this, the next piece corporate's going to launch is going to be the ITT tracker, because they want you to, because they're eliminating the blueprint and they're going to take a step-by-step piece. You know what? And Lori was on this. Lori, I actually just saw this picture of Lori from the elite call that we had 2 weeks ago. And I can see myself down in the corner, so I know that we were on at the same time. And usually Lori and I are pretty close to each other when we're on those times. It's kind of funny. And they said this was the one big takeaway. And then, and Lori, thank you for sharing all this. I'm glad that I took notes, because I'm going to put these notes in with this video when we share it with other people, because I think that's important, right? Even I hired somebody in my podcasts to start doing show notes and stuff so that I can give people takeaways of stuff, right? And so if there was one big takeaway from that elite call, and it was show us your list.
Right.
List, right? If somebody is serious about this business, they're going to have an ITT tracker, and then they're going to have a follow-up list. And they're going to add every single person is going to add 5 names to that list all the time. Guys, there's billions of people using social media every single day. Billions.
Well, and by this, what's so cool about this is that invite that I just did, you literally can copy paste. You can do it in Messenger, email, you can do it in text, you can pick up the phone and have that conversation, but it's the same conversation. But when you can do that, think about how many of those that you can copy paste in 15 minutes. So what that does is, if you know that your team has got a live going every day, then all you're trying to do is see how many people you can invite today, right? Does that make it easy?
It does.
That makes it easy. So now now you can say, this isn't about growing my business. It's how many people can I get this information in front of? How many people can I help? Why? Because when Lori heard about LifeVantage, I was 3 to 4 years post economy crash. So in the aftermath. Do you understand the urgency that I have to talk to as many people as I can today? So if I can share this with them, then they can start generating cash flow today. They don't have to go through the aftermath like I did.
Absolutely. And you know what?
That's your urgency.
Yeah. And Lori, you know what's good about that too is so I'm not going to push anybody anymore to do this. Okay.
Right.
Started doing this with people who set me up with, and I'm doing, and I got some insights from Sarah and some of the stuff that she's doing, and Jason Kukinzi, who I'm really close with. They started doing presentations for people that are serious about this. Yep. And for people that aren't, they're not doing them for, right? So if like Julie and I just were on the phone with her and Lisa yesterday, and we set up a couple calls where she's going to invite people to calls, and I'm going to do a 15-minute presentation. And it's going to be easy, because I said this, and Lori heard me say this on Saturday, is that I had the follow-up question was mine. I got to talk about other things, but I had the follow-up, and I said this. It's important, and even during the invite, it's important that you make the person feel like it's about them. It's not about you. It's about them, and it's about the urgency that you have to give them information, to bless them. I said this to a friend of mine today that just re-engaged back in the business. And she said, Michael, I found an old scripture that you posted way back 7 years ago. And it's Proverbs 3 and verse 27. And it says this, it says, if you have any good thing in your hand, that you have a moral responsibility to share it with others. It doesn't say whenever you feel like it. It doesn't say because someone told you no. It says you have an urgency to share those. So Lori,
look at the tagline on my email.
Yes. Well, thank you so much. And do me a favor, send me that over. I'm gonna finish up this last bit of time here. I'm gonna let some other people share a couple things from the call the other day, because I believe it's super important, because I got a ton of feedback from Friday and Saturday. And not only to me, and guys, I'm just going to tell you this. I learned a ton over the weekend. I learned some stuff about Laura Lee that she just, on Friday night, if you guys did, I went back and watched it. If you did not get to hear her story and what she told, it was dynamite. And then I thought I knew Melissa Brown really well, and you guys we've had her on the call. She freaking killed it, right? And then there was and I learned so much from Clinton Boyles, and I mean just him and just the way and Sherry gets me so emotional all the time, and we have this relationship with her, Lisa and I, that is just incredible. It's one of the best. She sent us a message the other day and said, hey, can I keep you guys? And you heard Lori say this. It's all about the relationships that we get to build. So Julia, do you want to go first? She's looking at me crazy. Do you want to go first? All right. All right. So I'm going to let Julia go first. And so she's looking at me like, are you sure, Mike? Like, but how could you, here's the cool thing about this. How could you, after hearing Lori, not want to just jump up out of your seat and like say, okay, I'm going to share what was on my heart. So Julia, why don't you take a couple, because there's some people on here that didn't get to be on because of other prior commitments. And they really need to hear some of these things like what Lori just shared and what Julia is about to share, because there was people, I know Mike and other people that really wanted to be on that just couldn't be on because of prior commitments. I know Marcia told me a bunch of stuff that she really took away from this past weekend. I mean, guys, it was just awesome. It was literally one of the best things I've ever been a part of. So Julia, why don't you share a couple of takeaways of things that you took away from this weekend?
Yeah, first I want to say thank you to Lori, because all her input right now, it just give me more fire. Even though you said like when we don't feel confident, like I see you are a woman very confident. I have my own history, my reasons, but I've been working in that to just, like you said, take away those thoughts, because those are lies that are in our mind and we need to take away. And I've been working in myself just to change and to exactly do that and be that so excited and just do it, things that I never thought I will do it, but now I said I can do it. And I'm going to do it. And we were, like Mike said, we were just talking. I was planning to do some couple of invitation presentations. So what your input, it has been very timing for me, at least, and very, very important, especially like invite more people, invite the family, and it's just about them, which that we know and we have the focus, but the way that you worded, I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Lori. And you are not far from me because I live down here in Glassburg.
Okay, you need to connect with me, girl.
Yes,
Yeah.
I want to. I already got that information. But I want to. I was planning to, so I will message you. Thank you. Yeah, but regarding the weekend, Friday, it was Laura Lee. What she was saying, a lot of things that she said, I felt that it was me. Like exactly, she didn't feel confident. She didn't feel like she can do that. And for things that happen in her life. And that's what it was happening with me. And I was like the thoughts. I was like, if she can do it, I can do it. So that change of mind, change of mentality. And when we see that other people can have done, I think it helps us to realize we can do it. That was the more important that I got on Friday. On Saturday, I really love the presentation with Mama G and Mike and the no.
Marilyn.
Yeah,
Marilyn Johnson, yeah.
That was so much fun, but it's at the same time, so many nuggets that they were told there. Like Mike said, the ITT tracker, the follow-up, but what don't do, like Marilyn was saying, what we shouldn't be doing. And that's very important because sometimes, especially when we just start the business, I think we made mistakes and we're still going to make mistakes and we will learn from that. That was really fun and really, really good for me. And like all of them, I didn't finish because I thought they were going to finish at 4, but I had other things to do. I wish I saw Darren, but most of the presentations were very uplifting and very practical in the way that each one has their own way to explain. Each one has their own history each one of them had their own way that how they started, how they struggled, how are their wins. Like it's Michelle Brown, the one that lives here in Colorado.
Melissa Brown, yeah, Melissa Brown.
Yeah, Melissa Brown, she was amazing also, and I admire her very much, because having 6 kids and do all that job, she really has a gift connecting with people, and admire her enthusiasm. I admire her way to do things and her heart. You could see her heart in that.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Julia, for sharing. Guys, I'm just so proud of Julia. Like, Julia became, she's always been one of my favorite people in the world, because her and my wife have always stuck with me, even when they probably didn't really want to. And I'm finally, now that I've became the person that I am today, it's been an inspiration to watch them come alongside us and do and know, just like what Lori said. Lori said, guys, quit. You know, I now have got to the point, and Lori doesn't even know this, where I lost, you guys know, I'm starting over, right? But I got offered to make my own supplements last year. I got offered $100,000 to make my own supplements. Okay, a lot of people don't know this, and very few people in LifeVantage know this, right? Now, could I make a ton of money off of making my own products? Absolutely. I could probably make $500,000 a year. I'm just saying. But here's the most important thing that challenged me, is that Lori just said this. To me, it wasn't an option, right? It wouldn't matter how much money I made or the things that happened or what I did. So I'm just grateful for being able to be and listen to people who have been watching for a long time, and now they're taking action on those things. So I'm gonna let one more person go, and this is somebody who Dee Dee made commitments to me just recently that blew my. Guys, how many of you never give up on people? You love them where they are, but you never give up on people. You know, you just constantly keep, and one of the biggest pieces about this is that, you know, when I say to people, I am not going to drag and pull people through this anymore. I am not, you know, one of the things that's got me focused now is I'm in momentum because I'm super intentional about what I'm doing every single day, right? Like, I'm laughing because I'm signing up 15 to 20 customers every month and 2 to 5 distributors for the last 90 days. And it's created momentum. And it's fun because I get to do it now with people that I love and I care about. So Dee Dee made some commitments to me, and she said, I can't even remember exactly what it is, but I was going to look it up so that I could kind of feel a little bit. She said something about, she said, I am going to make sure that I'm a doer. And she said, I realized after this training that I have a lot to change about myself. And I love when people say they have a lot to change about themselves, because the best investment you ever make in this business is about yourself, right? When you figure it out, right? And she said, I need to be better at follow-up and doing what I say I'm going to do, and time management. I can do this. She didn't make excuses for it. She realized it, and then she said, I'm going to do it. So I'm going to let her take a couple minutes and just share some things. I know she's not on video because she lost her electricity, but I know I'm going to be able to hear her. So Dee Dee, tell us a couple things that you took away from this weekend besides what I just shared, and inspire us a little bit, because I'm excited to hear you talk.
Okay, hi, I'm Dee Dee. I've been in this business for a while now. I haven't done a whole lot, but that's about to change. Yeah. Some things during this last weekend hit me hard and made me realize that I'm tired of having this sit in front of me, but not doing anything about it. It's just sitting there. It's like, it's so easy to just put it on the back burner. But one of the things that really caught me was them talking about the only way to cure fear. I think for me, the biggest part of this has been fear. I don't know that it's necessarily fear of rejection, because I'm pretty used to that. I'm a holistic practitioner. I mean, people look at you like you have a third eye. So I'm used to it's true. I mean, it's true. I'm used to the rejection part. So there's a fear aspect that I haven't quite figured out, but the only way to cure fear is through action.
Yeah.
You can't wait until you are not afraid anymore. You can't do that. You need to stay out of your comfort zone. It's the only way you grow. So, and a habit is repeated over and over and over. It becomes like driving a car where you're not thinking about it. You're just doing it. So they talked about, going from point A to point B. This was another big one for me. Setting your sights on where is it? Do you want to make $500 a month in this company? Do you want to make $10,000 a month in this company? Do you want to be a Pro 10 and go up to $80,000 a month in this company? You get to decide that. You get to set your start point and your finish point. And then you can draw a line from, it's hard because they gave us a visual and I don't have a visual to give you, but you're putting A in one spot, B in another, drawing a line. Every single action that you gives you a mark, one little mark on that line to get you one step closer to your finish line.
Yeah.
And it's amazing on the other side of the finish line. That's where I want to be. I want to be on the other side of the finish line.
I'm gonna jump in.
Go ahead, Lori.
What?
I'm gonna jump in.
I want to share something with you, Dee Dee.
Dee Dee, you just
Okay.
hit something really, really, I want to bring it home for you with the fear that you're talking about, because you almost hit it. So I want to get it. So you got it. Okay. So,
Okay.
so how many of us, raise of hands, how many of us have started a new job in life? How many times have you had first day on the job, right? What do you feel like when you're on the job? Like, are you flipping nervous? Are you freaking out? Are you uncomfortable? Okay, wait a second. What if your boss said, you got to start answering those phones and you know nothing about the job yet, right? Do you say to your boss, do you say, yeah, I'm not really comfortable with that? No, you don't. So it isn't about being uncomfortable. I want you to connect with this. It's not about being uncomfortable, because you're uncomfortable in life and you make yourself do what you got to do, right?
Absolutely. Good point. Thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Another thing that was pretty powerful that she did, that Sherry did, Sherry Hollenbach. So she had, and I want you guys to do this. Grab a piece of paper. Because if I don't have you do it, it kind of takes away what I want to show you. So grab a piece of paper.
I got mine, but I'm going to do it again.
I want you to write the word problem on this piece of paper.
Yeah, I'm going to do it again. Okay.
Did I give everybody enough time, do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I want you to stare at this piece of paper and tell me, what do you see on this piece of paper? Do you see any solutions? The only thing you see right in front of you is the word problem, okay? Now flip over that paper. Flip over your paper. On this other side, I want you to write solution.
Yeah.
When you're looking at this word solution, do you see any problems? Nope. So if we focus on our problems, we see our problems. If we focus on the solution, there are no problems. That was another big thing for me that hit me with her. Sherry is pretty amazing. She is so passionate. She is so passionate. Yeah, there's a lot of little things that were said, little teeny nuggets, like people that will never ever join your business may bring you the people who will. Yeah. So don't ever think, like, oh, this person I know they'll never join. Well, guess what? You're right. Maybe they never will, but maybe they'll give you 10 other people that will. So don't ever put those people aside. There's something, I think this is what it is for me, social inviting phobia, and it creates paralysis. Another huge thing that hit me. What?
Me too. Analysis paralysis.
Yeah. Yep. So that'll definitely be something that I have to work on. You can run with the runners in this business, but don't sit with the sitters. I've been sitting with the sitters. When they said that, I was like, oh, ooh, got me. You got me. You got me on that one. You don't have to be extraordinary to start with. You become extraordinary as you go. Mike, this is one of the things that I said was, I'm done giving you lip service. So there's so much lip service in this. And one of the important things that they'll tell you when you're bringing new people in is don't listen to what people say. Don't buy into their lip service. Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do, that's been me. Now, when I said it, did I mean it? Absolutely. I honestly meant it when I said it. Never once did I say, oh yeah, I'll do that and think, no, I won't. But guess what? I didn't end up doing it because I think the trainings for one thing are so important, because if you're not constantly plugging in, it's easy to set it on the back burner. Even if, for some people, even if it is a multi-million-dollar business, it can happen. You can, there can be a death in the family. There can be things that stop you, but don't ever put it on the back burner. Don't keep it there. Don't keep it on the back burner. Watch what your people do. That way you don't get too disappointed or too excited on whether they'll join or not, or whether they'll be successful or not. It doesn't matter. Just keep going. So yeah, that was an amazing training. And we have 2 ears. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so you should listen twice as much. Yeah. That's what I need to work on.
I think we need to work on that, Dee. I think we all need to work on that. I don't know, you guys, one of the things that Sherry really did that was really cool is she made us think about something that we constantly think about in Life Vantage. Like for me, it was losing leaders, right? Like doctors and people that were Pro 5s and Pro 6s, and they got distracted and they left. And guys, there was some really powerful things that Darren said and Marcel said about people that left and how they lost everything, right? They lost everything. They made one decision that they made. And guys, I wrote this, I still have it. I put it right here on my computer, and it says Pro 8 trips, time, and money, right? Pro 8 trips, time, and money, right? Because it's the next step. Everybody wants to be a Pro 10 or a Pro 9 or a Pro 6 or a Pro 5, whatever that is. Because I started over. I lost a Pro 6 and 2 Pro 5s, okay? But I crumpled up that piece of paper when Sherry said, I actually wrote on the front of it and on the back of it. When she said, now crumple it up and now write this, I sent this to her. I took a picture of it and I sent it to her. And she's like, that's when she said, hey, can I keep you? And I said, hey, can we keep you? And she's like, yeah. So her and Scott are going to actually plan a trip to come and visit us here in Florida soon. So, Dee Dee, thank you.
Michael.
Go ahead, Lori.
I'm the queen of interruption. I'm so sorry.
You're good. You're good. That's why it's good.
But you guys, the thing about the stories, and Dee Dee, that was so good, because connecting and being engaged into all of this and going to the events and all of the stories that you're hearing from stage, they're our stories. It's not their stories, they're our stories, right? We get to use those stories and connect them with other people. That's what it's all about. But the beauty of hearing what you're hearing is that it helps put things into perspective for yourself. Well, wait a minute. If Laura Lee had these massive struggles and Melissa has these issues and so-and-so has got these issues and Michael's lost people and this has happened over here, why would I think that it's not going to happen to me? When we're struggling and having these issues and we're having a pity party, right? Because so-and-so said no. Well, they were gonna do it. Do you know that there's not one person, if you get to Pro 5, it's happened to you. If you get to Pro 7, it's happened to you more, right? Okay, do you see what I'm saying? So you have to get it out of your head. They're going to happen. I have people say, well, first of all, it's like kind of like what Michael was saying at the beginning when they say, show me your paper. When say, well, I'm just frustrated because I can't get anywhere. You know what? You haven't talked to enough people yet to even say that. Right? You haven't talked to enough people to be frustrated because you're not talking to enough people to have the averages, right? So it's just so important to help put those things in perspective because you won't beat yourself up. Things that happen in this business and the speed bumps that we have, what you get to say is that's the beauty of network marketing. If I had to take if I had a setback that took me away for a little bit, if you were in a traditional job, you would be fired. So the beauty of network marketing is allows us to do those things. We want to make sure that we don't camp out, right? But we have to look at the positives of those things, not the negatives, right? Okay. And then I'm going to add one more thing just for a good takeaway for you guys. So you guys went, I'm sorry, they're good nuggets, okay? Tell me at the end if this is a good nugget, okay? So how many people feel like they're pushy? How many people that like you feel like I don't want to push? Anybody? That seems to be an issue with
all of us.
Okay, get ready. Get ready. This is so stinking good. This is what you're going to do. You're going to call yourself out. Like, this is what you're going to say to them. Hey, listen, I just want to let you know that I'm going to push you on this. I'm going to push you on this because it is that important. So let's just go ahead and meet Tuesday or Wednesday, which looks best for you. Done. Done. Now you can push. Then you make joke of it. You text them and say, remember I told you? Let's just get this out of the way. Right? Yeah, good, huh? So you just call yourself out. It is that important. Let's just get this information. I promise when you hear it, it will make sense. That's it. I'm done. Was it good? Good, good, good. Okay. You're muted, Michael.
Yeah, I know. I said there was some more people I was going to have share, but I just realized the time. So I'm going to have you guys share next week. I know Carla Wilson wants to share, and Carla will be able to share next week too. There's Stacy. Stacy, how many pages of notes did you have? He hasn't unmuted himself.
I'm concerned by what you just said, Lori. It was really important.
Go ahead, say it again.
I was confused by what you just said. You said,
okay, so some people are nervous. Sometimes they don't say or they don't follow up because they're worried about pushing. You're muted, honey, so I'm not hearing you.
We all are. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So if you feel like that, and it keeps you from doing your follow-up, right?
Yes.
So instead, if you say to the person, hey, listen, I'm going to push you on this. You call yourself out. I'm going to push you on this because it is that important. I promise when you hear it, it'll make sense, but it's just information, which is good, Tuesday or Wednesday. Don't ever say what time this week, you guys. You give them 2 options. If they're not good, they'll tell you and they'll set the appointment. But if you say good, they'll go, well, I'm not available this week. It's not even real. It's just a response. It's not even real, right? But if you ask them Tuesday or Wednesday, they're concentrating on Tuesday or Wednesday, right? So,
and they have a calendar.
Tracy?
That made sense. Thank you.
Yeah. So even when you do your follow-up after your follow-up, then you can say, hey, remember, I told you I'm going to push you. Let's just do this. Give me 15 minutes. Okay.
Guys, thank you, Lori. Thank you so much. I saw Lori's little thing back there. Dreams don't work unless you do. I love that. So good. Think about that, guys. How many people do you know that right now, and I'm going to finish with this and then I'll let more people share next week. How many do you know that people have stopped dreaming? Okay, people have stopped dreaming. And the thing that Lori just said is that if you can get people to understand and start dreaming again and start, because you know what? I'm rebuilding my story right now as we speak, right? When people see all the stuff that's happening with us, I'm rebuilding my story. Guys, I have so many, I have this massive book of names that I put in the last 120 days that is going to get me back to 7 and going to get me to 8 by the end of the year. Why? Because I haven't stopped dreaming. I've said this to people now. I've done this all wrong. Okay. I've done this all wrong. I wanted it more for people than they wanted it for themselves. I pushed people when they didn't want to be pushed. And some people don't like me now. But you know what? I've learned what works and what doesn't work. I can't go back and make someone, change the way they think. I can only just love them and lead by example. I can lead to show that I'm dreaming again. I'm, on my podcast, I have people coming. You guys are going to see this in the next couple of weeks. I have some 7- and 8-figure earners coming on my podcast who will branch out into more people being attracted to who I am. I don't have, it's like you guys heard him talk about this earlier, like Alicia's on. We have titles and we have backgrounds and we have professions, right? But sometimes that makes it harder for us because, like Dee Dee said, we got that third eye, right? Alicia and I've been to her house and we've done meetings and stuff, and we've had some prominent people come and say, I'm thinking about some conversations that her and I've had before in the past when I was in Oklahoma, and people say, well, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, and then you're just thinking, are they really going to do that? Are they really? And then they don't do it, right? But what we do? We're in this process that's going to happen this year. Is we're going to find people, we're going to attract people that are going to do what they say. It's a proverbial statement that you can't lead a horse to, but you can't make them drink. Guys, that's in everything we do in life. You can lead by example. I can lead Mike to show him everything he needs to do to exercise. And I think he's probably lost close to 40 pounds in the last couple of years, right? But I didn't force him to do it. I led him to do the things. And he just said to me, like, I'm not there yet. I've still got more to go, right? But if you look at the progress that he made from last year to this year, it's night and day. But now he's beginning to overcome those fears of telling his stories. I'm so glad that he got to hear some of these things because they're almost identical like what him and I have been talking about over the last couple of weeks that he needs to overcome. And so thank you, Lori, for being on with us.
I want to give you all a challenge.
All right, do it. Finish it
All
up.
right, this is your challenge. I want you to reach out to everybody that you spoke to, whether it was a year ago, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, you haven't reached out to them, your customers, I don't care who it is. Don't say, I know that you're not don't say anything. Don't reference the past because today is a new day, right?
Yeah.
You're in a new space. You have no idea what's changed for them right now, right? Everything has changed. When we say, if you were to say dig the well to somebody today, do you think they know exactly what that means today? And when we talk about high noon, they weren't at 12 o'clock. Do you think 12 o'clock is going to come a lot faster today?
Yeah.
So you reach out to everybody you know and you say, you just started off because of everything that's going on right now. There are so many people that are trying to get this information. They're concerned about their health and they're concerned about their finances. We need, so the people that you've talked to, you share it with them again. Don't say anything, just say because of where we are right now. So many people are trying to get this information, okay? I challenge you, reach out, write all those names down again. It doesn't matter if they told you no, it doesn't matter anymore, right?
Yay. And Lori, people are looking. It's totally amazing. I have loved people into looking at this opportunity. I signed a girl up today who is a salon owner, and her sister and her mom and dad each own salons. Okay. I signed her up on an ultimate stack, and she said, Michael, she said, I just found out there's a business behind this. Why didn't you share it with me?
Yep.
I was like, but here's the thing. I loved her into getting her to ask me questions because I wasn't pushy and I wasn't throwing things. Sarah taught me this. She said, Michael, we upgrade 67% of our customers into the business. Why? Because we meet them where they are by asking them the right questions to get them to make the decision, whether that's joining me in the business or whether that's using the products. don't you think if somebody's going to use 200 and some dollars worth of product that there's a chance that they might want to look at an opportunity? Yes. So never give up on people. Lori, thank you for sharing those guys. Guys, it's way past the time, and I'm going to let you guys go and finish doing what you're doing because I'm going to bed because I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So I'm just kidding, but I do. But I'm grateful for all of you. I'm grateful that we got to hear Lori speak tonight. And so, guys, have a good weekend. Just remember that you guys have something in your hands that you can go and continue to share and encourage. And just remember, there's people out there that you haven't shared or followed up with that someone else is going to share and follow up with if you don't. I'm just telling you, it's going to happen. I'm in circles now of where I'm constantly following up, like Lori said, with people because their circumstances have changed. Their circumstances have changed. Guys, there's going to be a new normal that's going to be better because God has given us, God didn't, this wasn't a surprise to him. It wasn't a surprise to him. Things are gonna get better. So I love you guys. Thank you for joining me. I will see you soon. And look, guys, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's put the pedal to the metal. Dreams don't work unless you do. So let's go to work, guys. Thanks for joining me. Don't hang up. Why? Okay.
Julia, you rocked it.